Hey sis, it's your girl. Welcome back for another video. As the title states, we've got a girl talk, okay? So, period. Grab your coffee, grab your little beverage, whatever time of day you're watching this, go ahead and grab your beverage of choice, period, okay? Get you a little snack. You know, if you want to put on some little lounge clothes, grab your blanket, your robe, girl, and let's sit down and have some girl talk. This topic that I want to talk about is something that I feel like is one of those things that you speak, you know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, I'm confident. Yeah, I have good self-esteem, but like, what is it really? How do you achieve that? I want to kind of share my journey as well on how I've gotten to this point. I've gotten so much feedback on all of my platforms, especially on Lemonade. Like, I want to say about 25 to 50 comments a day are about my confidence, my self-esteem, like all of those things. And I get all of these DMs that you guys send me, primarily asking, like, you know, either how I became a content creator or how I'm so confident and am able to like really exude that through my content and stuff. So anyway, let's get into it. I do have my phone right here with a lot of talking points that I want to kind of discuss. So let's go ahead and jump right in, period. I'm going to try to not make this too long, okay? So bear with me. Pause me if you need to. But girl, please let this video play all the way through, okay? So I guess first I want to kind of tap into understanding self-confidence for me. I feel like the misconception with self-confidence or confidence in general is that the person is arrogant, you know, really kind of self-centered. And I think that those are very negative kind of connotations with confidence. I actually come from the positive side of it. Like, I think when you have great self-confidence or great confidence in general, you're sure of yourself, and that comes across. Like, just think of it this way. If I'm applying for a job and I go in really like, and they're asking me questions and I go in really unsure, maybe I have all the experience in the world, right? But I'm like nervous, or like I'm really unsure. I'm not playing up all of my experience. Instead, I'm just kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh. But when I go into a job interview and I'm very much like, hi, my name is Kaseywithakayy, okay? Like, I have this much of experience. This is why you need me as your candidate. Like, if you go in with all of this sureness and positivity and truly being you, people can't help but be like, oh yeah, like, we need her. You know what I mean? Like, oh, she's giving us something. Like, she's giving it to the girls. So first you have to be sure of yourself in order for other people to be sure of you, for other people to take you seriously or feel like you are warranted in that space. In particular, as a content creator, I feel like that you really have to have confidence and be sure in what you are putting out, because you're competing with so many people, or there's so many people in this industry that it's easy, you know, to feel a little sort of way in terms of, oh, I don't make this type of content. I'm not as pretty as this person. I don't have, you know, the best equipment and all that stuff. Instead, no. I am the shit, okay? Like, I do have something to give the world. My voice matters. What I'm sharing matters. There's someone out there that's gonna love what I have to offer. And this is in every realm of life, right? Whether you're talking about relationships, whether you're talking about career, or just, you know, whatever it may be. You are worthy of being sure and living the life essentially that you want to live. So yeah, so I would say that's the misconception, that many times people think that it's you being arrogant or self-centered, and really it's just about being sure of yourself. Okay, some tips. So I would say, like, building self-confidence. Let's talk about that, because I think, to be honest with you, I don't think that anyone... How do I want to say this? As a kid, you probably have a lot more confidence in the beginning, because you're just, you know, you're young, like you don't know anything, like sort of thing. You know what I mean? You're just being your authentic self. And then I think, to be honest, as we are in school, as we engage with other people, we are told what we should be, what we should do. A lot of other people's insecurities are put onto us, and then it kind of distorts and changes how we truly feel about ourselves. And then you get to a point of having to unlearn all of that and go back to this kind of childhood authenticity, if that makes sense. So I would say the first tip is to list your strengths and passions. So what is it that just makes you smile, makes you happy? Maybe it's not content, obviously, because not everybody wants to be a content creator. Maybe it's photography, painting, sewing, you know what I mean? Playing music or whatever. Figure out what it is that you're passionate about and what makes you happy. And then also write down what your strengths are. I think we tend to concentrate a lot more on our weaknesses and what we don't have coming from lack, that we don't really concentrate on what we do have and what we have to offer the world, or, you know, whomever or whatever you're trying to exude. So, the next thing that I would say, so that's more so tapped into self-awareness, is knowing yourself, knowing what you like, knowing how you are, all of those things. Next is positive self-talk. It really starts with speaking to yourself kindly and showing yourself grace. This has been one of my biggest challenges, believe it or not, is not just speaking to myself kindly, but more so giving myself grace. I tend to really, get on myself, and I'm very harsh on myself. Like, it could be something just really simple, really no big deal, but it's like the end of the world to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I do something wrong, and I'm doing air quotes a lot because it's not the case, but if I do something wrong, or I'm disappointed in myself on something, then I'm really like very like harsh. I think like when I say bad thoughts, it's more so just like, you know, end of the world sort of mindset, where I'm just like, oh, like I didn't film this correctly, like it's going to be horrible. Like, I'm thinking the worst rather than just, okay, pivoting and figuring out how it can be resolved, or showing myself grace and saying, okay, well, that may not have been exactly what you thought it was going to be or how you thought it was going to go, but we can fix it for next time, or let's just refilm this, or you know what I mean? And I don't want to come from just giving you guys examples for content, but that's just kind of like my go-to right now because that's what I'm heavily concentrating on. But basically, fit these tips to match what it is that you're going through or how you're trying to apply it. Maybe it's in your everyday life. Maybe it's for career. Maybe it's for in your relationships with a significant other or your family members. So just tailor it to your situation. Okay. So positive self-talk. That was step number 2 or tip number 2. Let's see. Another one, I would say setting achievable goals. So basically, breaking down larger goals into smaller ones and making it more manageable. So I have anxiety. I'm diagnosed with anxiety. And so for me, I do have to break something down. I do have to have it a little bit more digestible, if that makes sense, so that it doesn't overwhelm me and give me anxiety. I feel like majority of society has a version or have variations of being overwhelmed and being anxious. And sometimes that can prevent us from living authentically and living our best lives and our best selves. Okay. So, just break that up. If, you know, basically if someone wants to, I wrote this example down. If someone wants to run a marathon, start with a 5K to build confidence gradually. Don't just jump into the deep end. And then if you fail, then you're just like the end of the world and you never want to try again. You know what I'm saying? But still try, still set yourself up for success in various ways. Okay. So if your goal is to get that dream job at the corner office, what are the steps that you can take to do that? If your goal is to be a content creator, then, okay, what can I do? What platform can I use? What's going to be my first concept or post to where I can get started? So a lot of these tips, like, it's kind of like, oh, duh, but it really has helped me be my best self and be this confident person that you see in front of you. Like, I guess I'll pause right here just to kind of give you guys a little bit more backstory about me. For me, I am a plus size woman. Like, obviously you see it, the body is bodying, the curves are curving. And because of that, I realized that society has already set it up to kind of be against me in a way, right? Like, I'm not your average size. I don't look like the average person. And so already I, will get the very critical comments. I will get hate speech and hate comments. I will be told that I don't fit in a certain industry or on a platform, or I can't do certain things or wear certain things because of how I look, because of my size. And to be honest, for a while, I did let that hinder me. I let that hold me back. And then I just realized, like, who are these people? Like, really and truly, who are you? Like, you're hiding behind a screen, you're tapping on your little keyboard. If maybe you have the goal to say it to my face, but really, who are you? You're no one to me. And I mean that in that sense, that your opinion of me is your opinion. That's your problem, not mine. The biggest thing with confidence is strengthening your idea of yourself. So no matter what anybody else says about you, no matter how they feel about you, whatever it is that you're doing, however you look, it doesn't matter, because you know truly how you feel about yourself and what you think about yourself. You get to a point of, having less self-confidence and less self-esteem when you allow other people's opinions to dictate the type of person that you are. You are a light being. You are here to shine light and shine brightly. You are the main character. Like, I say this a lot on my platforms. And I do think, because I'm so sure of myself, that some people, it will be a turnoff to them, because they're like, why is she so self-confident? Like, she's giving cocky. No, I'm giving exactly what I need to give. I am saying this to myself, but I'm also letting the world know that I am the main character. Everyone else are supported in the supporting roles. You're the supporting character. I'm the main character, period. Everyone is the main character in their life. And that's what we have to think of it. Like, I think of this life as, obviously, we only have one life to live. We've heard that phrase for forever, right? But if that's truly the case, and this is just your life, like, why are you not living it to its fullest? Like, why are you allowing people's opinions to prevent you from moving to that next level, from being the person that you truly want to be? And why should you being a bigger person, you being a smaller person, you being a black person, a white person, a green person, a yellow person, prevent you from obtaining that? It shouldn't. People's opinions don't matter. Your opinion does. Okay. So, I would say in high school, middle school, I had some self-confidence, but as I gained like weight and stuff like that, again, like kids can be cruel. People can be cruel. Like, when you're with, if it's you, for me, I'm talking from a plus size perspective. As a plus size girl or a bigger girl, in middle school and high school, and I'm hanging around with my friends who are smaller, guys come around and they're like, obviously, not interested, not checking for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that can mess with my self-confidence, or that did mess with my self-confidence. Wearing certain things that I wanted to wear, like growing up, being plus size, you didn't have hardly any options for clothing. Like, you just were stuck in jeans or oversized, lots of fabric type of items. Like, we didn't have what we have today with the Sheins and the Fashion Novas and the Hanifas and the different designers and stuff like that, and brands that are catering toward bigger people, that still want to be fashionable and fabulous, and I still, to be honest, this is a separate conversation that we'll have another girl talk, but I still think we have a lot of work to do as a society of, including others in conversations and in industries, and all of that type of stuff. But yeah, I would say that, to be quite honest with you, once I started doing content creation seriously, I really found a boost in my self-confidence even more, to the point of where I am now. And I think a lot of things kind of helped with that. I would say therapy has been like incredible with helping my self-confidence, because I'm able to talk through situations. I'm able to be given tools and techniques that help me navigate different things that are going on in my life. And especially about talking positively to myself and giving myself grace. I've learned so much through therapy on doing that. And you don't know that you're doing it, like that you're speaking negatively to yourself, until you have an outside perspective, a therapist or someone that you trust, able to kind of observe how you speak to yourself or how you speak about yourself. So I would say therapy, really finding my purpose. So for me, my purpose is content creation. I haven't just been doing this for 2 years or 6 months, which no shade, like that could be your purpose even if you just got started. I have been doing this for over a decade, for about 15 years on and off. Seriously, I would say in the past like 3 years, ever since I moved to California. And so I think once you find your purpose or tap into your purpose, you do have an element of a boost in your confidence, because you know why you're put on this earth. You know what just sets your soul on fire and makes you so excited, you know? I think as a millennial too, like I know that not all of my viewers are millennials, but talking to my millennial girlies out there, I think that we are no longer signing up for this idea that, you know, we have to work traditionally, we have to live traditionally. We're just doing things on our own terms. And I think that there's a lot of like happiness with that. And at least I know that I feel that way. And like I said, it's not just the job part of working a 9-to-5 versus being a content creator, entrepreneur. It's also, you know, people not wanting to have, go purchase a house and they want to live in an apartment, you know, or, as millennials, we're getting started later in life, on our families. Like we're not rushing into maybe getting married or having children as quickly as past generations have. So I think that like my millennial mindset has also given me more self-confidence and helped me with my self-esteem, because I'm realizing like it doesn't have to be on everyone else's timeline. It's really on your timeline. Like I read this, I think it was a Instagram post, I'm pretty sure, that basically broke down all of the like people that started later in life and what they accomplished. So like, I think the CEO of Adidas didn't launch Adidas until he was like 50 or something. Like it listed all of these CEOs or all these creatives, entrepreneurs, that really started later in life in society's eyes. And look at them now. Look what they've been able to create. So for me, my biggest thing has always been feeling like I am a late bloomer, like feeling like I'm behind from when I learned to drive and get my driver's license. It was after everybody, all of my friends. From getting a good job, you know what I mean? Or being in corporate America or making this certain amount of money. I always felt like I was behind everyone else, and just realizing, and I'm still kind of teeter back and forth with that. I'm not going to lie. Like, I feel like confidence and self-esteem is kind of similar to the healing journey, where you are never truly healed. You know what I mean? You're always healing. You're always improving. You're always growing. And that's the same thing, I think, with this journey of self-confidence, is you're never finished. You're always improving how you view yourself and how you present yourself. As long as you kind of keep this idea of that you're doing it for you and no one else, then I think you're on the right track. The moment that we start to do things for other people's satisfaction and for other people, and because of what other people think, then we lose little pieces of ourselves. And then before we know it, we look up and we don't even recognize ourselves. So I think that, like I said, it's not something that normally happens instantly. It happens over time, and you wake up and you're just like, wow, like I'm not myself. Like I will say that before I moved out to LA, I was at that point where I was just going to work, working. Let's not cry, Casey. Whew. Okay, we're going to try to get through this. But basically, I woke up. It felt like I woke up the next day, but I looked at my life back home. I was climbing the corporate ladder. I was severely unhappy. I didn't have any personal life. It was just work. It was just working. It just was not me. I was good at it. I worked in finance for a long time. I was climbing, I guess. But it just was not, it was not me at all. It was totally against my purpose. Like, you have to think, me identifying that social media, content creation, entrepreneurship is my purpose, and then to be working a job or in an industry that's very regimented, very corporate, very conservative, it literally was eating away at me, my core, you know what I mean? My core self. And we're going to take little breaks through this, so y'all bear with me. I would say that the universe, God, saved me from that. Like, I really can't even picture what my life would have been like if I would have stayed back home, stayed in that job. I'm just so thankful that I was able to come back to myself. So if you're at a point, and I know we're about to tie it back into confidence, you're probably like, all right, Casey, where are we going with this? But I had to kind of give you guys some backstory and let y'all know my journey, that it has not always been easy, that it's a lot of start and stop sort of feelings to it, you know what I mean? And even me, who, you know, I'm very confident and you all see that as an observer, as a supporter, you've come across and see how confident I am. I wasn't always this confident, you know? And sometimes you can be super confident and you go through stuff in your life and have experiences and you lose yourself. And then guess what? You're able to find yourself again. You know what I mean? So it's really been a journey for me. It's something that takes time. It's something that takes you to learn and unlearn. And really, again, show yourself grace. Like, it's so easy to give grace to other people and to understand others and what they're going through. But then we speak so negatively to ourselves and we don't give ourselves the time to heal and to identify exactly what is blocking us. You know what I mean? What's preventing us from being our best self and our most confident self. So I'm thankful every single day and grateful every single day that, like, I've been able to come back to myself. And I say it often that I never want to go back to that point ever again. Like, so I think that's even more reason, I'm laughing so that I don't cry. That's even more reason why I'm super confident and really just push myself out there and really just live unapologetically and wear the stuff that I wear because why not? Why can't I wear it? Say what I want to say, be who I want to be, because I know what it feels like not to be that person. I know what it feels like to be the Casey that isn't living authentically and following her dreams and living her best life. Like, and I don't like that person. Like, no shade to old Casey, you know what I'm saying? Or to that part of my life. But, you know, I just wasn't happy. And I don't want to go back to sad Casey at all. Like, I love, you know, being able to smile and being so bubbly and so just like me, you know? So yeah, anyway, let's see what else I got for y'all. Overcoming the fear of judgment. That's really something that I struggle with is other people's perceptions and how other people would judge what I'm doing, how I'm dressing, what I like, all of that stuff. I'm focusing a little bit more on me being a content creator because that's who I am. Like, that's where I am in my journey. But again, please tailor this to fit your situation, your scenario. Okay. The overall theme here is overcoming the fear of judgment. So tip. So question any societal norms that make you all feel inadequate. So for me, I just turned 35 back in August, and I was a person that did not want to get married, did not want to have children, any of that type of stuff. And I realized that, like, and now that I'm 35, and not just this age, but now that I'm in love, I'm married and all of these things, I'm identifying that, okay, like, I want, a family of my own and that sort of thing. And I'm feeling the pressure. The time is ticking. So that as a woman, you already know how that feels sometimes. If it's not you starting a family, it might be you getting that job. It might be you having a certain amount of money by your age. Like, you get these pressures, these unspoken pressures from society on what you should be doing at what age, what you should have achieved by this time, you know. And then I just, again, think back to that Instagram post that's just like, all of these CEOs did not start popping, did not create that idea until they were 40 and 50 and whatever age, you know what I mean? So it's never too late to be the person that you want to be, to have the things that you want to have, to live authentically. You just have to make the conscious decision to do so. Like, you have to align, and I'm very big on manifestation. We're gonna have a separate girl talk on manifestation, but you have to align with the life that you want. So if your theme, because this theme is self-confidence, you need to align with being the most confident person, your most confident self. So by using these tips, that will get you there. By thinking these positive thoughts, by showing yourself grace, speaking life into yourself, that's going to get you to be and to align with that energy. If you continuously think of yourself negatively, or why you can't do something, oh, I can't wear that because I'm this age, or I can't wear that because I'm this size, or I can't do that because this, that, or the other. Why can't you? Why can't you? Who says? Who says? Is that you saying that? Or is that you being influenced and you're afraid of other people judging you for doing those things or saying those things or getting to that point? And 9 times out of 10, it's because you're thinking about what other people are going to think and how they're going to perceive you, when really the only thing that matters and the only opinion that matters and perception that matters is yours. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I have an example here, like how artists basically embrace their uniqueness despite criticism. So Lady Gaga, for example, many people questioned and sent her hate comments on how she looks. You have this big nose. You don't look like a singer. You don't look like an actress. You're ugly. You're this. You're too pale. You're not that. You're not that talented. Whatever the case may be. But she used her uniqueness as like her superpower. Think of self-confidence and self-esteem as your superpower. Like, what makes you different? And then run with that. Like, think of the most amazing top models, right? Grace Jones, she was known for her androgynous look, right? Winnie Harlow. Like, you think of certain people that their uniqueness and what sets them apart could literally, if they thought of it wrong, could set them behind, could be something that's negative, could prevent them from wanting to go after this dream life. But instead, people like Lady Gaga, they embrace their uniqueness, use it as their superpower, and that's what's propelled them forward. So for me, I would say being a Black plus size woman, emphasis on plus size, that is my superpower. Now, will I be plus size all of my life? Will I maybe fluctuate in weight, bigger and smaller? Perhaps. But currently, I'm a plus size woman. I have been in most of my adult life. And I am, to others, that is a negative thing. To me, that is my superpower. That's what I thrive in. That's who I am. That's what I am right now. And I'm not going to be ashamed for it. You know what I mean? That has not prevented me from living my best life. That has not prevented me from finding the love of my life, from getting married, or any of that. Hold on, my husband's calling. Okay, we had a little bit of an interruption, but anyway, my husband was calling me. But yeah, like, just realizing like that is my superpower. That's what makes me unique. And I'm just taking it and running with it. Like, no one's going to make me feel ashamed for how I look, how I feel, what I think. You know what I'm saying? So just make sure essentially that you are reframing criticisms. So if somebody is, being hypercritical or saying different things, reframe that. Like, try to see if you can make that your superpower. Or first of all, like, really and truly, it doesn't matter what they're thinking. It's a matter what you think. You know what I'm saying? But don't really get caught up on the comments or the criticism in general. I know for me, like, when I started posting really consistently on my platforms, I started getting an abundance of hate comments. I still get a lot of hate comments. I still get a lot of critical comments. And I realize that they're taking their time out to comment those things. That's on them. They are helping boost my engagement. That's how I look at it. So reframing the criticism. I choose personally not to engage with them and not to comment back and give them any shine or do a special video on them specifically as the haters. I realize that comes with the territory of living authentically, which we're about to get into, and living in your purpose, that when you get that hate, like, you're doing something right. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm just like, oh, they're miserable. They're helping your girl though, giving me more and more engagement. We love that. And that's just all there is to it. You know what I'm saying? So reframe that criticism. Don't harp on it. Don't sit in your pity and all of that stuff. Don't let it affect your self-esteem and self-view. Okay. So next up, I want to talk about authenticity. So embracing authenticity. So for a tip, I would say I suggest journaling about moments when you feel the most authentic. So when you feel most like yourself, when you feel like you're not adhering to society's norms or suggestions, or that of your parents, that of your siblings, spouse, friends, whatever, when you are truly you, what is it that you're doing? How do you feel? Where are you when you feel the most authentic? Like, I feel like as a content creator, but just as a creative person in general, environment matters for me. So I would say that I love back home. I love the DMV. I love Virginia and stuff like that. But environment mattered for me. And in order for me to live my best authentic self and be the person that I am, I had to get out of there. I had to move out of that environment and switch it up. So make sure that you're journaling. Like, it doesn't have to be anything elaborate. It doesn't have to take a long time. You don't have to do it for an hour. And when I say journaling, it is really good. When we get into our girl talk on manifestation, I'm going to talk about the importance of writing things down. But I do realize that for me personally, sometimes I just don't want to actually physically write. So I have done things like voice memos, or I have actually recorded videos of myself just talking to myself. And those are just things that will always just be for me. You know what I'm saying? So however you want to do it, journaling can look differently, but journal and see, and tap into that. Another tip is to foster relationships with those who accept and celebrate your true self. So you want to surround yourself with like people. And when I say like people, right? I didn't do the air quotes, I almost did though. The thing that I'm talking about there is they don't have to believe everything you believe. They don't have to look how you look, think how you think. Be identical to you, right? Because who wants that? You want variety in your friend group and your community. But if the whole thing is that you struggle with negative thoughts or negative thinking, do not surround yourself around people that are negative, right? I mean, it sounds like duh, but no, but really, surround yourself with positive people. If your goal is to be successful and to have hundreds of thousands, millions, maybe just make a certain amount of money, then don't hang around broke people and broken mindset, and broke as in financial. Don't hang around broke people. Hang around successful people, right? If your goal is health and fitness and improving that part of yourself, don't hang around the person that's always ordering DoorDash, going to fast food places, smokes excessively, drinks excessively, or drugging or whatever. Don't hang around that person, because you're aligning yourself with the energy that you don't want. You have to align yourself with the energy that you do. So instead, find a walk group or a run group. Find align yourself with people or a club or an organization that will help you with what it is that you're trying to accomplish. Okay. The whole theme of this, beyond just confidence and self-esteem, is alignment. I've used that a lot throughout this video, and hopefully, I'm not trying to give y'all homework, but if you're anybody like me, I'm a true Virgo. I'm jotting things down. I'm coming back to this video to catch different gems. Alignment. You cannot be your best self. You cannot live most authentically. You cannot achieve the things that you want to achieve by aligning yourself with opposite of that. By aligning yourself with negative thinking, negative people, things that will hold you back and be distractions, right? The goal for us every day, every month, every year is elevation and growth. And anything that is not allowing you to grow and elevate is a distraction, is a hindrance, is not aligned with what you truly want. Okay. So yeah, embrace your authenticity. Okay, girl. I know it sounds like a lot. I'm throwing a lot at you. Okay. I know I'm throwing a lot at you. So if you got to rewatch this and rewatch it again, I'm here for you. I just hope that this helps somebody. Even if it just reaches one person, I hope that you love it. Okay. I'm going to try to move a little quicker though, because I don't want this video to be too long. Living unapologetically. I kind of mentioned this a little bit before, but here's a mantra that I've been saying a lot, and I think it's really helpful because you have to really define your mindset. I am enough just as I am. Right? We're a work in progress. We identify with that. We are growing. We are healing, right? We are elevating. ING things, like we are constantly going. We're not there yet, right? It's never a final thing. I really feel like it's not really a final thing until you're off this earth, to be honest with you. We are not healed until we're no longer here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the mindset that I personally have. And that helps me always strive for more. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm not grateful and thankful for what I have, but it constantly reminds me that, like, I can always, like, the possibilities are endless. There's no ceiling here. Whatever I dream up can be true. You know what I mean? Whatever life that I want to live is already mine, type of thing. We're kind of tapping a little bit into manifestation. So I'm giving y'all a few of those gems right now, but we are going to revisit that in a future girl talk. Right now, just for a second, we're going to pause right here before I deep dive into living unapologetically, and just say that if by now you have not already followed your girl, subscribed, and when I say follow, please support your girl on all platforms, okay? I always put my links down in my description bar to every platform that I'm on. If it's not listed below, I do not have that platform, okay? So please support your girl on all platforms. I would greatly appreciate it. In terms of YouTube, please make sure you thumbs up this video so that this can help someone else. Like, comment, and subscribe, and all of that. Notification bells, you guys know the routine, okay? And most importantly, too, I would love to hear you guys' feedback down in the comments about your self-esteem, self-confidence journey, your journey in general. Anything that you would find helpful, please keep it cute in the comments, because we are here to elevate and to support and build community. We do not need the negativity, okay? But I know that your journey could potentially help somebody else in the comments that is going through this or struggling with something. So just wanted to say that. But again, back to the mantra, I am enough just as I am. I am enough just as I am as a plus size woman. I am enough just as I am as a single mom, if you are. I am enough just as I am if I live in wherever. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, changing that mindset. It literally is like a switch that needs to flip, or, you know what I mean? Like, you're just having to change your mindset. And I know that, like, me just verbalizing this and saying it seems so easy, or I'm making it seem like it's easier than it is. Believe me, okay? Your girl knows that it's not an easy situation. Like, I know that it's so much work in this. I know that it's a constant thing that you have to do. You know what I mean? And it's not something that's going to come so naturally, because naturally we think opposite of that. Naturally, we are concerned with what people think. We do speak negatively to ourselves and our situation. We always think that what we have is never enough. We struggle with being grateful and thankful. Like, we tend to land in the negative realm instead of vibrating high in the positive. So I do understand that. Yeah, so in terms of living unapologetically, here's a little tip for taking action. So what I challenge you guys to do is to take one small step each week toward living authentically. I would suggest doing this on a weekly basis until you truly feel like, wow, I'm living like me. You know what I mean? I'm not living as an imposter. I'm not living as a fraction or a fragment of myself. I'm truly all out, okay? And whatever way that looks like for you, I'm me. Blonde hair, plus size, vibrant, bubbly, positive, for the most part, you know what I mean? Or in some cases, I'm not always like that, you know? And that's a part of being authentic as well. It's not always going to look super pretty. It's not always going to look very polished. And as a Virgo, which I'm bringing it up again, because if you are a Virgo or experience any Virgos, we are perfectionists. And I really struggle with perfectionist mindset. So here's living authentically. I'm going to tell y'all this. This is a prime example, period. I came on this camera. I have on a t-shirt and some leggings, which y'all can't see. My hair is done, obviously, but to me, I don't have any lashes on. You know, I do have my nails on, but I don't have my lashes on. And, you know, but I was like, Casey, like, if your whole goal of this video is to talk about self-confidence and self-esteem and living authentically and all of these different themes and topics, you have to live what you're preaching. You know what I'm saying? You have to truly live authentically. I'm not going to have on a full gown and heels and eyelashes and dutied up in my home all the time. Okay. Now, sometimes I do that. Okay. Because that's just me. But sometimes I'm very much like this, and this is okay. Okay. This is okay. So whatever that looks like for you, you guys, I do want to challenge you to do that. In conclusion, y'all, I feel like this was a whole dissertation and a whole, I guess this was just a variety of things. We just having girl talk. Because when you're on the phone with your girls, okay, when you're in that group chat, when you're, on FaceTime with your crew, your girls, your guys, I know I do have guy followers, so, whomever. When you're on the phone with your people, y'all can be on there for a while talking about a little bit of everything. And that's essentially what this whole series is about, okay? But in conclusion, please just know that it is, and I've been responding to all of my supporters on Lemonade because I feel like that's where I get a lot of my most consistent engagement and community. We're able to dialogue back and forth. But when they ask me about my how are you so self-confident? Like how, what's your journey like? What are some tips and all those things? The phrase that I pretty much use in every response back to each supporter is, beyond other stuff, it is a marathon, not a sprint. And even though that sounds very cliche, it is very true, okay? It is going to look like starting and stopping. It's going to look very slow at first, right? It's going to look like you want to give up and you're frustrated. It's looking like a lot of distractions. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it truly is going to be a marathon. Also, like I said, it's never a final thing. Like even though I am a very confident person and many people even say that I am and can see and feel that I am, there are times where I don't feel it. There are times where I doubt. So that's why I say it's truly a journey. Of healing, of listening to yourself, of showing yourself grace, on improving yourself, on growing, on getting rid of any distractions, any people that don't align with where you're trying to go. And it's no shade to them. Like, it's not like you're just like thinking you're better than other people or whatever, but it's truly picking yourself first. And I realized that with self-confidence, with confidence in general, and improving self-esteem, you truly have to pick yourself. And as a woman first, it is very difficult to be selfish. Okay. Someone say selfish, look, air quotes, selfish. I call it, and my thing is with the word selfish, sure. If you want to call it that, sure. But really it's just, I can't be a good person in my best self for you if I can't be a good person in my best self to me. You know what I mean? You have to, another phrase, fill your cup up first. Okay. You have to make sure that you are whole before you can give pieces of yourself to other people, places, or things. I am always here for you guys. As much as you all support me, I want to support you all in y'all's journey of self-discovery and living unapologetically. And I know that this was a lot of information, but hopefully you were able to find little gems and tidbits in this. Please make sure that you dialogue with me down in the comments. I would love to hear you all's feedback, your own journey. Like I said, we want to maintain a positive community. So please refrain from any judgmental comments or anything negative. You will be removed. You will be blocked because we're not having that over here. Okay. Yeah, and if you guys love these girl talks, please let me know too, or have any suggestions about that, please let me know. Like I said, I really want to make this a weekly thing, a weekly series. I already have a couple of themes that I want to do for future girl talks, but I would love to get feedback from y'all on what it is that you want to discuss and talk about. Also, I think it would be a great idea to do a live of some kind. So yeah, just let me know. Okay, period. That's the end. That's it. That's all. I love you guys. Thank you so much for sticking in and watching this entire video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow your girls on all platforms down in the description, period. And I'll see you guys in the next video.